suppose where I'm going to comment the ornamentation thing, maybe would be from the point of view of general musicality and improving rhythm. Okay, and one of the big bugbears. That's management speak. There's a guy in my office, and he went on a management course, and he came back with all of these little terms that drives everybody nuts. And there's a can I use a bad word for a minute? Yes. I came across a site called Bullshit Bingo, and it's where you print out little cards with all these little, drilling down and moving forward, and you pass them out to people in the meeting, and they tick them off as the managers, and then you jump up and bullshit. So anyway, a bugbear of mine. Something that I try and talk about when I'm doing banjo workshops is the notion of trying to get away from the very staccato machine gun kind of style of banjo playing. Now, a large aspect of that, as we spoke about yesterday, is to do with tension. So, when you develop that a little bit further, and you develop the playing a little bit further, I like to try and think about how you can use ornamentation and other little tricks and flicks, chording, which we'll talk about later, to create, I suppose, really create phrasing within the tune. Now, we spoke about breathing yesterday as an aid to relaxation, but the banjo has no natural breath, so there's no natural pause. You could literally play 5 tunes in a row without ever breaking pace from so it loses all interest, it loses all dynamic, there's no natural phrase within the instrument. If you're playing the flute, you got to take a breath, and so the phrase is created by the instrument. The same is true of the accordion, because there's some notes on the way in and some notes on the way out, and the same is true of the fiddle. But that's not natural on the banjo, so therefore we need to create it in an artificial way, in a sense, but we need to actually think about it and create the phrase. And the simplest way to create a phrase when you're playing is just to pause, to leave the long note. For some reason, banjo players are inclined to put a treble on every single long note that they ever come across. So you can end up with and sometimes when you see players that are very, very tense, they put in trebles when they don't fit at all. That kind of play. Okay. So put that up against a fiddle player who's playing it. They're like long notes, and the banjo is so there's this horrific clash of rhythm and phrasing.